What's up, guys? Back with another video. So we got the patch notes for the mid-month. Alright, so Weapon Hex is getting a new uniform and a tier 4, and Abomination is getting his tier 3 with the new uniform. Alright, so the patch will be tonight around 10 or 11-ish, early Wednesday morning for some people, so it's a rolling patch. Alright, so as you can see, 2 new uniforms and uniform improvements. Alright, so Weapon Hex is going to be the paywall because all the females are paywall uniforms. And it will be until November the 15th. Okay. And then Abomination is a crystal wall. So full cost, no discount. So these are seasonals. Alright, so Weapon Hex is still a blast and she's a super villain. As you can see, she is 30 tokens. Now it will be an event where you get 10 free tokens, so you just have to buy the other 20. Now her uniform effect applies to zombie allies. That's crazy. Alright, so she has the increased basic damage dealt to superheroes and villains by 45% and removes all debuffs for 20 seconds on a 12-second cooldown. Her tier 2 passive, she has guaranteed crit rate and 35% damage reduction. And she has a 6% heal. And then her 4-star passive applies to zombie allies. And it is the undead passive. That is crazy. So it's not an artifact. It's on her 4-star passive with the uniform. And it has HP does not drop below 1%. Well, 1 for 7 seconds. So they have a 7-second immortality. That's crazy. Alright, so for zombie survival, it's going to be lit. It's going to be pretty dope. Alright, so her first skill just an energy attack. Second skill has paralysis and incapacitation. Third skill has 1.2% accumulation. Her fourth skill has iframe ignore, removes all active buffs, paralysis, and a 40% chance to penetrate with the invincible and a 50% damage proc. Her fifth skill has a 25% heal with the frenzy buff and damage immunity. Alright, so her skills are kind of cool how they named them, but yeah, she is definitely a zombie support character. I'm fine with that. It is what it is. Alright, so Abomination stays a combat, stays a villain. Like I said, his uniform is 1750, and his uniform effect for itself gives him 20% chain hit, skill damage bonus damage, and 25% damage reduction. His leadership, King of Zombies, which is pretty dope, applies to zombie allies only, and increases all attack by 65%, which is pretty good. So we got 2 leaderships in the game, Doctor Strange and Abomination, but you could definitely use Abomination lead. Alright, his tier 2 passive, it only applies to gamma radiation allies like Hulk. Gives them 45% ignore dodge, increased basic damage dealt to supervillains and superheroes by 60%, so that's huge. Alright, his first skill has poison, okay, because he does look like Bane, so he does probably have poison in all his skills, maybe. Second skill has burn and fracture and paralysis, and a 10 times barrier. Third skill has stun, super armor all defense, accumulation, 1.1% accumulation, which is pretty nice. Fourth skill has burn, a frenzy buff, and damage immunity. And the fifth has poison, silence, invincible, and another frenzy buff. Alright, so he deals poison, burn, fracture, paralysis. So anyway, he's still a good leadership. So alright, so he's got the little duality with ABXABL for Hulk and for Zombieland. Pretty nice. And they did buff Apocalypse. So, to make Apocalypse auto battle more efficient, the recover HP effect of active number 4 has been moved to his skill number 5. Alright, so the second skill, it did have the iframe ignore with damage immunity. Now it still has the iframe ignore, but it has 40% penetration. So now he has penetration with damage immunity. Alright, so just maybe if you got the artifact too, he does have the revive, so maybe he is more PvP oriented now. And the fourth skill, like they said, they moved the heal from the 4 to the 5. So everything on the 4 stays the same, but they moved the heal onto the 5th skill. Alright, as you can see right there. Alright, so Apocalypse did get the buff, and a lot of people are still crying about Doom, in which, like I've been saying, Doom's God Emperor Doom uniform is PvE. Say it with me now, PvE. It's ridiculous. I swear these people cry about anything. It's ridiculous. Alright, so they made Apocalypse more PvP oriented. Weapon Hex is tier 4. Dark Magic Combat. She gives herself increased chain hit by 30% and energy attack increase by 20% for every 1 second, up to 60% for 7 seconds. So it's like Lunar Snow and Magneto, where it gives them a buff on their attack. So it is what it is on that one. Abomination is tier 3. He has fear and paralysis with ignore dodge by 80%, which is pretty high. And he has an 80% chance to penetrate with invincible. So monster roar. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. The new artifact, which Weapon Hex already has hers. So Abomination gets one, and it deals to gamma radiation allies again, which is kind of weird, but whatever. It increases all basic attack by 25% and increases max HP by 10%. So if you get your hands on a 6-star artifact, then your Hulk can definitely start clapping. And ABX, ABL, and probably some more World Boss content. So that's pretty dope. Other improvements, the effect and appearance timing of Odin's Might has been approved in ABL. The description of death throws has been added to the skill name glossary. Go ahead and see what that is. And some game error fixes on Spider-Man, which is kind of weird because nobody using Spider-Man anymore, but it is what it is. Alright, so definitely great support for the zombies with Weapon Hex with her 4-star passive on the uniform, which all zombies get the undead passive, which is while they're zombies they're undead. So that's pretty dope. So they're not changing her artifact or nothing, they just own the uniform. And Abomination has a pretty just a random leadership for the zombies, but everything else is for gamma radiation like Hulk and stuff like that. So that's the patch notes. Like I said, it's a rolling patch note for tonight. So do not do your world bosses if you want to try to get your potential for Weapon Hex. And if you do have Abomination stuck at if you want to get them to tier 3 or whatever, just try to get your books or whatever from World Boss. So that's it. That's the patch notes. So y'all let me know what y'all guys think in the comment box down below. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.